Huh. It's my horse noise. That's more like a bull. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Dreamworks Animation has a new movie coming to theaters. This is called Spirit Untamed. We're going to talk about it. I need you guys in the comments down below. Were you looking forward to this movie? Does it have anything to do with the other Spirit movie? We'll talk about it. Lucky, a gutsy 12-year-old girl longing for a place to belong, befriends a wild mustang she names Spirit. With her two best friends, Abigail and Pru, and their horses by her side, they explore a world filled with endless adventure, magnificent horses, and never-ending fun. All right, this cast is actually really great. Jake Gyllenhaal, Julianne Moore, McKenna Grace, Walton Goggins. Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. But you look at the film, and at least I did. I watched the first trailer, and I said, it does kind of feel like a movie that, well, not shouldn't go to theaters, because we love seeing movies like this on the big screen, but it feels more like a straight-to-DVD release. But then you see the cast, and then you see the fact that they're going for something here that's maybe a bit different from the other Spirit film, and we would classify this as a reboot, a spin-off of sorts, but something that does somewhat at least attempt to capture the magic of that other film, the simplicity of someone bonding with a horse, in this case a young girl, but there is this backstory that does kind of tug on the heartstrings and emotions, at least at the beginning of the movie, and causes a bit of a rift between her and her father, who is actually played really well by Jake Gyllenhaal. So that's a good story. Then you have Spirit that kind of comes in at the beginning for a little bit, and she automatically forms this bond with Spirit. But Spirit, being a wild horse, it's a very difficult thing to master there. That's a really cute story at its core, and it was genuinely sweet at the beginning. My issue with this movie, though, is the fact that it takes all of those concepts and just kind of runs with them in the most simplistic and somewhat conventional way possible, never does anything outside of the box, never goes in a direction that could make a movie like this a bit more interesting for adults. I feel like kids are really going to like this film, and that's partially why I'm going to go a bit easier on it than some other animated films that I'm just not the biggest fan of. But the fact that one of my criticisms is the fact that it feels like it goes on too long and it's only 85 minutes, it may even start to lose younger kids' attention. Not entirely sure, but when I feel that way about a movie built for kids, and then you have adults taking their kids to the theater and kind of watching this as well, I feel like it's definitely going to lose our attention if we are taking our kids to the theater. So judging a movie like this, you have to kind of approach it in a different way, and I do feel like there is enjoyment to be had because the animation, it's cute enough. It's not the best I've ever seen. It's fine. And the voice cast is really, really good. But these characters, they almost stay stagnant throughout most of the movie. They don't necessarily learn anything other than maybe our main character in Lucky. There is a lesson to be had there. And some of these small journeys that they go on, there is this ruthless gang going after these horses, and they're trying to capture them, and they're not treating them the best. So, of course, our girls come together, and they form kind of this team to go up against them. And I like that. It was kind of fun to see all of that happen within this genuinely well color-corrected animated world. But beyond that, the story just becomes uninteresting after a while. It never takes any chances. It never does something that could have made Spirit Untamed stand out from the crowd, but instead it just kind of falls in line with a lot of these other animated films. And there is that direct-to-DVD sequel-itis that you're kind of feeling about halfway through the movie. It's not a sequel, it's a reboot, but still, I started to feel that, and I kind of lost interest about halfway through. I started to get my phone out, and I said, no, Austin, put it away. I wasn't in a theater, by the way. I did have a digital screener for this, but even watching this on the big screen, I don't know how much it would have amplified the experience. I'm sure it would have been more of an experience, but because the story just wasn't as interesting, I didn't really care as much. It does kind of utilize some Western tropes, so in that way, it's almost this Western specifically for kids, along with the sweet friendships, and again, the voice cast. I could talk about them for days. So It's not without its genuinely sweet moments, and it may work for kids to a point, but there's nothing about this story that allows it to be considered a memorable experience, and because of that, I have to go a 48% with my score. But just know, if you have kids and they're really interested in going and seeing this film, that is not something I would not recommend. They may end up really enjoying it. You just kind of have to know what that target audience is. But for me, it was a movie that I will probably forget about. Spirit Untamed. Are you guys going to watch it this weekend? Are you a fan of the original movie? Or I believe there was a spin-off series on Netflix. I didn't get a chance to watch that. Let me know down below, and let me know, what is your favorite Dreamworks film of all time? All right, guys, I know you're waiting on The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. That review is coming tomorrow morning, along with a plethora of Netflix reviews. I'm going to do the horse noise again. It still sounds like a bull.